Little fast running. Again slow running. Relax. After that, keep your legs away from each other. You can face forward. Hello, Tanmay, don't face that side. Bring your hands in front. Rotate your fist. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Reverse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hands on shoulder. Rotate your shoulder. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Opposite side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hands down. Arm rotations. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Reverse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Arms in front. Inhale, open your chest. Close. Open. Close. Open. Close. Open. Close. One more. Open and close. Again front. Side twisting. Left side. Right side. Left side. Right side. Left side. Right side. Left side. Right side. One more. Left side. Right side. Center. Catch your waist. Chin down on the chest. Rotate your neck. 1. All sides. 2. Inhale and exhale. 3, 4, 5. Opposite side. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more. 5. Hands on the eyes. Open the eyes. Far away, rotate your eyes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Opposite side. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more round. 5. Release your hands. Catch your waist. Inhale, look at your nose. Exhale, walk. Inhale, nose. Exhale, walk. One object. Inhale, nose. Exhale, walk. So I'm looking at the clock. Inhale, nose. Exhale, walk. One more. Inhale, nose. Gazing on the tip of your nose. Then gaze forward, look up on that object. Steady drishti, ekagra drishti. Now gently push your hip forward. Rotate your hips. 1, 2, 3. Try not to bend the knees. 4. Move the hips. 5. Reverse. 1, 2, 3. You can see I'm trying to move the hips all directions. 4. Feet apart. Tanmay. 5. Feet apart. Feet apart. The leg should be away when you rotate your hips. Inhale, bend back. Exhale, bend down. Inhale, bend back. Exhale, down. Inhale back. Exhale down. Inhale back. Exhale down. Last one. Inhale back. So when you bend, keep the elbow closed. Exhale down. Inhale, stand up. When you exhale, join the feet, hands on the knees. Rotate the knees. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Reverse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Push the knees. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hands down. Spring movement to ground. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. After that, interlock the finger. Press your palm. May not reach the ground. It can be here also, no problem. Wherever you reach, and drop the neck. Stay there. 1. Normal breathing. 2. So try to bring the ears inside the arm. 3. Gradually deepen it. 4. 5. Inhale, bringing the hand the same way. Stand up, arms up, heels up. All in the same inhale. Then exhale, heels down, lift your toes. Inhale, heels up. Exhale, toes up. 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 One more. Inhale, heels up, stay there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, heels down. Sorry, exhale, heels down. Inhale, interlock the palm. So you will lock it fully like this. Full lock. Exhale, bend to left. Inhale, up. Exhale, right. So when I bend, you can see I push the hip to the other side. It's not only one side. I push the other side so that balance is there. Inhale. Exhale. Exhale. Inhale. Then exhale. And inhale. Exhale, arms down to L shape. Padam 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, and 2. Just a the mouse. 1 second, please. Okay, after that, so I've finished the walking. Then bring your arms in front, legs a little apart. Take an in breath. Exhale, sit. Inhale, stand. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Stay there for a while. 1, 2. So don't rest your hand like this. Okay, keep your hands in the air like that. 3, 4, 5. Inhale, stand up. Exhale, catch the waist. Now, take your left leg in front. Rotate your ankle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Reverse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fold, catch the toe. Balance there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Stretch that leg. 1. So when you're stretching, don't lean back like this. Try to balance with the leg in front. 3, 4, 5. Exhale. Inhale the other leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ulta. 1. See the rotation that I'm doing. See the circle. 4. So it stretches even the calf. Catch. 1, 2. So when I balance, I'm utilizing all the fingers. I'm spreading the fingers, putting weight there. If I don't use my fingers, I cannot balance. Imagine if a person who does not use the fingers, he will fall. Stretch in front. Now here when you stretch, the psoas muscles, which comes from the back till the front, that muscle gets active when you stretch. So if you lean back, it will not come. You stand strong, that muscle will be active. Exhale. All this comes with practice. Inhale, spread. Exhale, down. Hands on the mat. You saw how we bent forward. Finish the last exhalation, then start inhaling to cross stretching. Like that. Inhale, inhale, exhale, exhale, like that. You can hear my breath. One more round. 1, 1, 2, 2, like that. 1, 1, and 2, 2. Inhale, come up. After standing up, walk a little inside. 2 steps. Jump. Those knees over. 1 second. Now, any questions in loosening practices? Any questions? How many people are there? Maybe 10, 15. No questions on loosening. So we are going to Surya Namaskar. So we'll do four rounds Surya Namaskar. Then we'll go to the individual questions. So I'm facing the front of my mat. So for you, it's a side view. Here onwards, the breath has to be Ujjayi control. So inhale, take the arms over the head. Exhale hard. Close the eyes. Inhale again. हिरण्मयेन पात्रेण सत्यस्यापि हितं मुखम् तत्त्वं भूषण्णकावृणो सत्यधर्माय दृष्टये एकमित्ये Breathe, exhale. त्रीणि inhale left. Chatvari exhale. Pancha inhale and exhale. Shat inhale, exhale. Sapta inhale, Ashta exhale. Nava inhale, exhale. Dasha inhale, left. Ekadasha exhale. Dwadasha inhale, exhale. Om Mitraya Namaha. Ekam inhale. Three exhale. Trini inhale. Chatvari. Pancha. Shat. Sapta. Ashta. Nava. Dasha, right. Ekadasha. Dwadasha. Om Ravaye Namaha. Ekam. Dvi. Trini. Chatvari. Pancha. Shat. Sapta. Ashta. Nava. Dasha. Ekadasha. Dwadasha. Om Suryaya Namaha. Ekam. Dvi. Trini. Chatvari. Pancha. Shat. Sapta. Ashta. Nava. Dasha. Ekadasha. Dwadasha. Om Bhanave Namaha. Now I will do Ashtanga B Surya Namaskara, 2 rounds. Samasthiti, tight. Looking in the nose. Ekam, bend the knee, touch the mat, inhale, hands up. Do exhale. 3D inhale, head up. Chatwari. Pancham. Shat. Sapta. Right leg. Ashta. Nava. Dasha. Ekadasha. Left. Dvadasha. Trayodasha. Chaturdash. Start. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Panchadasha. Shodasha. Saptadasha. Namaste. Om Khagaya Namaha. Ekam. Dve. Treni. Chatwari. Pancha. Shat. Sapta. Ashta. Nava. Dasha. Ekadasha. Dvadasha. Trayodasha. Chaturdash. Start. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, Panchadasha, 16, Saptadasha, 17. So what you saw is Vyasa Surya Namaskara, 4 rounds, and Ashtanga B Surya Namaskara, 4 rounds. Any doubts on these two Surya Namaskara? I will come to the questions of that. So I've got a couple of questions during of Surya Namaskara. The first question is regarding Surya Namaskar B. Start losing my breath during the Adho Mukha 5 breaths. My breath is fast and then it is difficult to slow down the breath. So I am conscious, I can't control. Is this because of my stamina? So, so breath is the end result of so many things. Your overall stamina, the strength of your body, the strength of the muscles, flexibility of the body. You would have seen when you do a difficult asana, you start getting breathless. Correct? So, if, for example, a person may be having very good stamina. He may be running, he may be jogging, so many things he may be doing, gym and all. Now, but maybe in one asana, let's imagine he is not flexible. Now, if he starts doing that asana, he starts struggling there, automatically his breath becomes fast. He may be a person having stamina, but because he is not flexible, he's getting breathless. So it's not that only stamina may be the issue for getting breathless. It may be due to flexibility problem, overall strength of the body. Beyond that, but 90% of cases, it's the awareness and the consciousness of breath is more the reason for lack of, getting breathlessness. So I'll give you some tips to improve this techniques. I don't know, some of you may be knowing that. So some tricks that you can do is, you can, for example, when you're going to Adho Mukha Shvanasana, so here, inhale Urdhva Mukha, exhale Adho Mukha. Now, during the same exhale, in the tail of that exhale, take the leg forward. So, till the leg reaches there, you can continue that exhalation. Then, when inhaling, you can take the arm up. You can try that. Then, while exhaling, hands down, go back and go down. Then, while inhaling, come up. Exhaling, go back. During the tail of that exhalation, bring the leg forward. So when you reach here, that exhale is over. Then, while inhaling, take the hands up. Then exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale back. So this is one way you can reduce that breathlessness. So because that stepping the leg and taking the arm is a little long movement. So some of you may get that long breath may not be coming. So Adho Mukha Shvanasana, don't complete that exhalation. During the tail of that exhale, take the leg front. Keeping it there, inhale, take the arms up. Then exhale, come down. Same way when you do the other side, tail of exhale, take the leg and take the arms up. This is one slight variation you can try so that you'll not get the breathlessness. This is one option. Then another question regarding Surya Namaskara is that when we do Kriyas after Surya Namaskara for the first time, no, before that. in Surya Namaskara, while doing Pada Hastasana, unable to touch head to the knee. So that problem is generally because, see, one common thing is when we have a little fat extra in the stomach, so our bending forward may be tough. But more than that, even if you have little tummy, doesn't cause much issue. So what you must do is when you bend, don't bend from the top. Don't bend like this. So when you bend, keep your chest and chin forward. So when you are in Hasta Uttanasana, while you exhale, push the hip back. Push the hip back. You can see my side view. I think you can see my side view. See, I'm bringing see the tailbone is up. I'm not doing like this. It's not like this. I'm bringing the chest and chin last. So stomach is coming down first. So I bring the chin first. Sorry, stomach first. Then finally, so once I try to bring the stomach, touch the thigh, then I have to bring the body towards the leg. So try to bring the stomach and the navel first. That is the first stop. For that, start bending from the tailbone. So you have to start from there. I explained it in these many classes. When you bend forward, push the hip back and come like that. You can see the bend is starting from here, not from here. The bend starts from here. So everything else will fall in line. So start bending from the lower back, not from the very tailbone side, not from the lumbar region. Start bending from lower back. So try to bend like that, bringing the chin forward, chest forward. And finally, bring the head down. Like that. If you do that, I think the forward bending capacity will improve. So try to consciously bend from the tailbone region so that it will come. The bending will come. That was the query regarding Surya Namaskar. Then I think somebody had asked, when we do Kriya after Surya Namaskara for the first time, when we bend the knees, yeah. So when we do Agnisara Kriya, see, one of the main things is when you do the Kriya, stomach should be empty. So minimum 2 hours. So for example, now I am practicing, it's 4:30, right? So before 2 o'clock itself, my lunch should be over. So the food is from the stomach has gone to the intestine region. So the upper digestive system will be empty. Already it has gone to the lower digestive system. So in that case, your Kriya is easy. So if you would have observed, some of you who are practicing in morning and evening, morning when you do the practice, you find that Kriya coming easier. While when you do it in the evening, the Kriya is tough. Because there is food in the food pipe. So keep proper gap between your food and Agnisara Kriya. Very important. And you will feel that when the time is good and the stomach is empty, nice suction will come because your stomach is empty. So that is one thing you should think. Other thing is, see, so this breath control all depends not only on your lung capacity, depends on blood circulation system, muscular strength, your lung capacity, heart capacity. All these things are connected. The right posture, so keeping the hands in the right way, all these have to be taken into consideration. You can come here. So if you take all that, then the Kriya will be proper. So ensure that these things are practiced. I think the person who has asked the question is already practicing, he has already observed there is an improvement. It is tell me, nobody is perfect, I am also not perfect. I also have difficulty in many aspects. So just keep on practicing, gradually you will improve. Don't worry too much about that. Just stay maybe 3 counts in Agnisara Kriya, that's all. Then gradually, or Udyana Bandha, gradually you will improve. That was the question regarding Surya Namaskar. Yeah. Now, so here also a question regarding Moola Bandha. See, Moola Bandha, there are 3 things. See, when you do a Bandha, Moola Bandha, it's a Moola Bandha is only for the sphincter muscles. Then the anus lock is called Ashwini Mudra. That's called anus lock. Moola Bandha is sphincter muscles, the area between your anus and the reproductive organ. That is the sphincter muscle. So when you contract that sphincter muscle, then it is Moola Bandha. Then when you pull the reproductive organ, it's called Vajroli Mudra. But it's Very difficult to individually tighten it. So when you tighten from the anus, the sphincter and the reproductive organ, all the three will be pulled up. It will be pulled up. So you can feel that. Actually, you will suck the anus, suck the sphincter, and suck the reproductive organ. All the three will be pulled inside, upwards. So when you keep on doing, it will come. So consciously try to contract the anus, pull the anus inside, pull the muscle between the anus and the reproductive organ, and also the reproductive organ inside. All the three will be pulled up. So generally, the lower abdomen here, it will be a little tight because from here till back, the entire area will be pulled up. You will feel that. It is different from stomach Uddiyana Bandha. So try to lock the anus and the sphincter. Tighten the pelvic floor. The floor will be the entire floor. The floor has to be pulled up. That is called Mula Bandha. So if you keep practicing, it will improve. Try to consciously do that. When to do that, I keep reminding during the class. So some asanas, when you reach the asana position, because that time you are not making any movement, right? At that time, for example, now you are staying in Parshakonasana. So when you are in Parshakonasana, you like this straight and stretching. Now, I automatically that lock will come. You can feel. So try to pull the anus muscle while staying in the asana. Many of the asanas I keep reminding. Okay, are you locking the anus? So try to, at that time, try to catch it. So that is the question regarding Mula Bandha. Now, anybody else having query regarding this one? Any steps of Surya Namaskara? You can also ask. Any questions regarding Surya Namaskara? Because I demonstrated.
Sir, I have one query.
Yeah.
Sir, like how to improve the back arch?
So work on those, no, Setubandhasana, Chakrasana. You're already doing those asanas, right?
Is there like in Surya Namaskar, the second step, like not able to bend so much?
So they are connected. So gradually when you practice like Setubandhasana, Ushtrasana, all these asanas, it will improve your back bending. So
okay, sir.
It takes long time because it's our spinal column. So after many years, there is some amount of stiffness is there in our spinal column.
Yes.
All the people will have stiffness. Gradually, that stiffness will go away. So don't worry. Work on the asanas like Setubandhasana, Chakrasana, all of them, and it will come.
Yes.
Anshuman, okay?
Okay. Okay, sir.
When I'm doing like this, no?
Yeah.
And I go back, and we see staying like this. Again, earlier and all, I used to do directly like this, focus. And when I come to the class, you'll be telling again, go like this. When again start.
Yeah. So, see, there are 8 types of Surya Namaskar. Okay. So, what we are doing in our class this month is Swami Vivekananda type.
Okay.
So, in Swami Vivekananda, 2 times Shashankasana will come.
Okay.
So, what you are telling, in that it is Shivananda Surya Namaskara that we did last month. So, every month we make different type of Surya Namaskara. Next month it will be Chandra Namaskara will come. Then Soham will come. Like that, we try to mix 3-4 styles of Surya Namaskara so that we get through all the different styles. So it's not much of a difference. Only that 2 steps come in between. Then other thing is, when you go back from here, don't go to mountain. I observed during the class. When you are here, Trini, Ekam, inhale, do exhale. Trini, inhale, left leg back. Chatwari, exhale is a straight line. It's a straight line like this. You're going here. No. This is a high plank. This is the position. So don't keep it down nor take it up. So it's a straight line. This is called Adho Mukha Dandasana. Then inhaling, see how I change the leg. I did not clip from here. So from here, I bring the knee forward, sleep the toe. So without changing the hand. So I did not replace the hand. Like that. You have to go with the arm stretched. Don't bend elbow. Then similarly, when I come up like a cat, now then stand the toe. Exhale, bring the chest in front. See, I brought the chest in front, not here. So that upper body is in front. Then sleep the toe. Inhale, pull the body forward, upward. So that it's not here. If you put here, you'll get back to it. If you come forward, you'll not get back to it. Okay?
Sir, I'm not able to do the chair posture.
Yeah? No, talk about Surya. Which chair posture? That one, Utkatasana.
Utkatasana, correct.
You practice. That is only practice. I know. First, you have to stabilize your things. So many things I am seeing masala in you. Tanmay, I'm not happy with all those things. You're not stable only. The jumping, the turning, all these things not possible. Lot of stability I want. So I want you to first stand properly. When you're standing itself, you're not standing properly. Then how will you do Utkatasana? First, stand, one position, one drishti, looking at one point. So once I see that, then I can improve the other points. Because other points will come automatically. First is steadiness, proper breathing, proper looking, proper control, stability. All that is important. Without that, don't think about only physical positions. Okay, Tanmay? Can you hear me? Okay,
Yes,
when I say left leg, you are taking right leg. When I say right leg, you are taking left leg. So all that clear all those small things. They are first importance. Okay. In between Surya Namaskara, shaking the leg here. I observe every person's movement I know. Please, first you go back. Go back, you are coming to the camera. Don't come to camera. First go and sit in the mat. Totally. After question is asked, you have to go back, sit in the mat. No chatting. No chatting in the class.
Okay.
Good that you asked the question. I'm happy that you're asking. But first I want you to become steady in what you're doing. That you become steady. Then big other asanas, it will come automatically. First standing straight, keeping the legs together, hands tight. All these things, discipline has to come. Then other things will automatically come. Yeah. Any other questions regarding Surya Namaskar?
Sir, can you show one round of Agnisara Kriya, Udyana Bandha and Navli Kriya?
I will show you. Now, you had a question regarding breathing. Now, if you had come at 4 o'clock, you would have seen all the...
No, next time when I will catch.
Yeah. So the breathing is very, very critical. I'll show you one round of Surya Namaskara. After that, I'll come to Divya. So, Samastiti. Each breath will be linked, okay?
You told you have to breathe from your.
So what? You are not able to hear the sound?
No, I'm able to hear the sound. For me, it's very difficult.
See, I'll tell you the reason. See, nasal breath cannot be controlled.
Okay.
There is no control. No? Where can you control? Because there is no place to
Hold it.
Not holding, regulate it.
Okay.
So the regulation comes here. So for example, if I'm taking the arm up, it's for all people. I know 50% of people don't know how to breathe. So all of you have to listen to all these things. So when I exhale, I'm inhaling, so I can do like this. Over. So I could not do anything. I took the hand, I took an inhalation. But it's a stressful breath. It's a quick breath. It may have reached the bottom of the lungs, may not have reached. Somewhere it is gone. I don't know where it went. But that is breathing without awareness. Because breath is going in. I know. But whether it has gone properly, whether it has been absorbed by the lungs, I cannot do anything. But now, if I have a long movement now, full inhalation. Full exhalation. So I'm aware, so I'm regulating here. You can hear some sound from here. So that sound, I think somewhere in the some asanas you are getting it. But with experience, that breathing, so if a movement is long, I will adjust the breath. I can do the same with a shorter breath also. See, I'm doing only half. Full breath. What I did, I increased the flow. I inhaled fully, exhaled fully, but I increased the flow using my throat. That's what I did. Because I know my movement is this much only. I have to just take the arms parallel. But if I know, yes, my arm movement is full and long, I will not use the same flow rate. I will reduce the flow rate so that I can spread the inhalation to the entire duration of my movement. So that comes gradually when you keep on practicing.
We can't make it out whether you are inhaling or exhaling. So same sound, perhaps.
No, there is a difference. If you record my sound, you will find it. If you even the counting which I know whether you are inhaling or exhaling. Because inhaling will be like this our Ravi Shankar. They say so hum. Have you heard that?
Yes.
Ravi Shankar asana. They say so hum. That is exactly this only. So the sound between it will be like two different. It will be a hissing sound. It is like wave. In the ocean wave, the wave comes. That sound will come. When I keep this, you will be able to hear the sound difference. In exhalation. Now hear the inhalation. There's a difference.
Inhaling, the sound will be a little bit more and exhaling will be less.
Yeah. Exhaling will be a little like
Sound.
hissing sound.
Yes.
Hissing sound will come, like a snake hissing sound. Inhalation will be like a wave sound. It will be like that. Okay. Now this one, Divya. Divya had the question of Udhyana Agnisara. So look at my abdomen. And I'm going to doing that. I cannot show it without showing the abdomen. So here the positions are important. See, first thing is look at my side view before showing that. Now don't do like this. So this is the problem. Now see, the load is on the back. Hand is not loaded. The load is on the back. But when you do Udhyana Agnisara, the load will be on the hand. So the spine is free. So if you remove the finger, the hand I will fall. Because I am putting the body weight on the hand and short circuiting the backbone. Backbone takes less load. So this position is important. Keeping the legs away so that your stomach will get space. Don't keep it like this. Keep it in legs away. Feet parallel. Hands properly. Ear and shoulder will be closed. See, like this. Not like this. So when I stand like this, see, hand is not loaded. Back is taking load. So keep the hand properly and bring the shoulder close to the ears. Then another thing is, don't look at the stomach. Don't see what is happening. Look down. So keeping the hand firm, look down on the mat. Like this. So shuffle the shoulders and lengthen your back. You can see the side view. When I shuffle the shoulders, lengthen the back like that. Now, look at Udhyana. In Udhyana, there is no Ujjayi. So first take an in-breath. Exhale. So that. So the stomach went in. That is Uddiyana. Now, second one is Agnisara Kriya. So I'll show you two different styles of Agnisara Kriya. Which is right, which is wrong, you should tell me. First one or second one, okay? Now you should tell me the difference of it. First one. That's the first one. Now I'll show you the second one. Tell me what is the difference. Can you tell me what is the difference between the two?
The first one it was very slow, the second one it was pumping fast.
No, more than that is something else is there. Anybody can tell me what is the difference? Okay, so the first one is a pump. You can see it goes more in and out. It's more of, yeah, it's a pumping. Like, it's in and out, the displacement is more. Whereas the second one is just flapping. Like ding 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 ding. That's not enough. Like, it's not going in. It's not going in. So pumping is different, flapping is different. So don't be under the belief that flapping, ding ding ding, that is enough. No. You have to suck, release, suck, release, suck, release, suck, release. That is Agnisara Kriya. Okay, that's important. Then, so that's second Kriya. Third Kriya, Nauli Kriya. So only seniors should practice that. Also once in a day. So I have not practiced today, so I will show it now. So then I will not practice today. So that is Nauli Kriya. So Naula means wave. So you have to first, that center is called Madhyama Nauli. Then Vama Nauli, left side, and Dakshina Nauli. So central Nauli, what I showed you is called Chalana Nauli. Chalana means movement, moving wave. If you keep it in center, so first learn to bring Madhyama Nauli in the center. So try to be in center first. So that is Madhyama Nauli. If you get that, then try to move to the left and right. Then try to rotate like that. Yeah, so that is called Nauli Kriya. So all that comes with practice, 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 practice. No theory. Whatever theory I tell, all will go in the air, that's all. It comes with practice only. Okay, so when I do that, I can actually feel, no, some air is here, it's coming here, air is going here. So I can feel the movement inside. I can feel where is the foot not there. That is also can be felt when you practice. So that was the query regarding from Divya. She has asked that question. So I will explain the Surya Namaskara, then Sridhar question and explain. Raja Kapotasana will come. Surya Namaskara while doing Padasana, unable to touch, that I explained. Ardha Matsyendra, two people have asked. Then Ardha Chandrasana, okay. Standing asana, any other asana is there? Okay. Any other question during Surya Namaskara? Anything? Anybody? And the Kriya which I showed, Udyana Agnisara Kriya. So see, what happens now when we don't keep the legs straight, don't keep your elbow close to your ears. You cannot have a slipping mind when all these things are being instructed. At that time you have to listen. Okay, legs away means some people are doing this way, Agnisara Kriya. Some people are doing knee rotation like this. How will you rotate the knee with the legs away? Not possible. You have to keep the legs together. The knee has to be joined when you rotate the knee. So all these things you have to get out of these things. So be very sharp. Be very clear. No, drishti, breathing, all this will make us more sharp and clear at mind. Now coming to standing asana, that Ardha Chandrasana, Samasthiti. It is very easy if you have a brick. Now there are very important things in Ardha Chandrasana. So when you keep the bricks, it should be shoulder distance. It should not be like this. Some people are keeping books here and trying to do like this. How will you get the balance? Not possible. See your hand and like this in one line. Very difficult to get the balance in like that. See, I'll fall. I'm not getting balance because there is no offset. There needs to be an offset while doing Ardha Chandrasana. You have to keep your bricks shoulder distance. And step by step things you have to do. I don't have place there, so I am keeping a little forward. Samasthiti. Samasthiti like this. See, toes are touching, heels are touching, hands are tight. Some people are very good. They focus on all these small things. Some people no mind presence. So looking at one point. A coming here. Inhale is over. We exhale. Kept the hand. That I will show left leg. 3 inhale. Exhale here. Now inhale, hand up. Again exhale. Then while inhaling, try to look up. Again exhale. Inhale. Last breath is over. Exhale. Hand down, leg down. Inhale. Exhale. So, one of the reasons why you may be trembling may be that the offset may not be correct. That means you may be keeping too close. This may be one reason. If you keep it too close, you will start shivering and not able to balance. Even if you're strong, may not be getting balance. Other reason is that the forward bend is not enough. So if you don't use a brick, you need a more intense forward bend to balance that. Finish the inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. So maybe the reason may be that the forward bend is not enough, that you are not able to reach. Keep a brick a little tall so that you can keep it like this also. You will get a little more height. Then you may not be shivering too much. This is regarding Ardha Chandrasana question. Any other questions regarding standing asanas? Otherwise, I am going to sitting asanas. Do you have any questions regarding standing asana? No. Regarding sitting asana, there was query regarding Ardha Matsyendrasana. Then Sukta Padam Vistasana, there is a question. Ardha Chandrasana, sometimes wearing Akarna Dhanurasana, also there is a question. Samsasana, prayers. So the first is regarding Ardha Matsyendrasana. So before that, I want to also talk about this Baddha Konasana. and Merudandasana. Automatically the breath changes to me. Inhalation is over. I finished one exhalation. Inhale is over. When I do this, my awareness will not go. Again inhale. Now I stop butterfly and start. One exhale is over. Now I will inhale. One inhale is over. Two breaths are over. See the control I am making. Three breaths are over. I am accommodating full breath. Looking at the eyebrow. See, I am not looking anywhere else. I am trying to look here on my eyebrow. Now my exhale is over. Now inhale. Sit up. Inhale is over. I pulse the chest because the inhale is over. While exhaling, hook the toe. While inhaling. Now did I lean back? No. I was here, little I leaned back. You can see my side view. In Merudanda, many people they open like this. Now this is not, there is nowhere near Merudanda. So this if you do, only till back pain will come. So it is okay, the leg may not be straight, but don't round your back. Keeping the chest forward, keeping the chest backbone relatively straight. Little lean and keeping the weight in front. This is also fine. I'm happy with this. No need to straighten. Feet, see I'm trying to keep the back straight. So it may not open, no problem. Then finally if you can open it, sit like this. You saw that. Now my tailbone is not touching. Only the sit bone is on the floor. The back is straight, you can see my side view. Now don't do this. It's a classic example of unaware practice. So this is right and this is wrong. You may get a balance like this. You may get it. See, you will fall back also. So when you do that rounding, the vertebrae will protrude. The discs will come out unnecessarily. Why do you want to take a risk there? So try this much, this is enough. It may not become straight, this is also fine. This is also fine. All these are fine. So try to go like that instead of trying to achieve that final pose without thinking. Okay, so that's what I want to explain regarding Baddha Kona Merudanda, because people are attending. Now, the question is regarding Ardha Matsyendrasana. Now, the key of Ardha Matsyendra is armpit. Remember that in the mind. The armpit is what works in the Ardha Matsyendra. So, I will show you this side so that the camera is visible. Samasthiti. I will show the left leg first. See, I am waiting for the inhale to be over because the awareness is there. I cannot move faster because I have to wait for the inhale to happen. Now inhale. See why I did that? Because the stomach has to come out. Now my effort is not this. This is not the effort that I should make. My effort is to, I have opened the armpit. I have opened the armpit for keeping it on that thigh. So I keep a little push here and try to bring that armpit. My asana is actually over. All the remaining will automatically fall because that lock has come. So keeping the push on, keeping this hand on without leaning back, take it lean back to bring the armpit and stomach out, then come back and fix the armpit on the thigh with an exhalation. Then you can catch here, here, anywhere. This is all immaterial because the lock is already got. Then easy to catch here. So that was an exhalation. So ekam inhale, dvi exhale, trini inhale, chatvari exhale. Now my left chest is blocked. So which lungs I have to use? The right lungs I have to use. So expanding the right lungs more than the left. 1. See, I'm filling up the right lungs. See the beauty of this asana. So I'm maximizing the breath with the right lung because the left lung doesn't have much space to expand. So that's how I improve the right side of the lungs. Then finally exhale your breath. So I'll inhale one more. I rotated. So I'll show you the another mistake, this one. Where the rotation will come here? You're leaning. You cannot lean in Ardha Matsyendrasana. Asana. Keep your hand closer. Keep the body forward. Push. Keep your body forward and rotate. Looking. Don't tilt your neck like this. Some people looking like this and all. Keep the turn, not tilt. Turning is different. Tilting is different. So turn the neck and keep the force on. Then inhale, release. Hand and body. Exhale, release. Ekam inhale. Finishing the breath. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. So when I finish the exhale, I have finished the asana. I am already looking back. Then finished. Why I did the other side? Because I don't want to do only one side. Then I take a breath here. Look at my hand, back hand. I have spread the fingers. Why? I should never keep like this. If you keep like this, wrist will damage. Guaranteed. After 2-3 years, wrist will pain. So keep your finger always, whichever finger, palm you're keeping on the floor, keep it wide spread. Like that. Inhale, come forward. Exhale. So when I come to Samasthiti, automatically the toes are stretched. Not like this. This is called plantar flexion. This is dorsiflexion. When you do forward bending, dorsiflexion will come. When you do straight, back straight, plantar flexion has to come. That was the query regarding Ardha Matsyendrasana. Now, another important is regarding Supta Padangushtasana. So I have some questions regarding Supta Padangushtasana. I have shared all the questions. I hope people are read through. Samasthiti. Automatically toes are pointed. Back is straight. Arms are straight. Everything steady. Shoulder is down. Chest is flat. Ekam inhale. Sorry. I'm here first. Ekam inhale. Dvi exhale. Trini inhale. Chatvari exhale. This is enough. You don't have to go further. You start inhaling. There is the drishti. You have to look at the toe. So first exhalation is over. I tried a little more. Better. Second in breath. Little more I came closer. Third one. Final time I touched. Then inhale, come back. So the reason why we are not able to touch is because the leg is not coming to 120 degree. If you keep like this, then it's not possible to touch. So try to pull the leg down, more and more down, keeping the hand. If you take this support, it's possible to touch. So either you can touch the forehead also, no problem. So your core muscles will start getting tighter and tighter when you do this. So little you can keep the other leg little in the, but don't lift the heel. Then if you are not able to reach the toe, what you should do is you have to put this belt like this. So these are also available in Amazon and all. You can order yoga straps. If you search for yoga straps, you'll get that. So try to loop it on the feet like this. So keep 2 loops. So 2 on the 2 legs. So when you lift the leg, the loop will come along with the leg. Exhale. When inhaling, catch here as close as possible. So you may not, so if it is reaching here, no problem. And reaching here, try to lift your chin up. This is all enough. So when you get that pull, automatically, gradually the leg will become strong, longer and longer. The hamstrings will pull, calf muscle, all that will pull. Try to use the belt. So you can keep on rotating, getting it closer and closer, 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 closer like that. Yeah, and this is the first part. The other part, I have seen many people from here, they are going like this. So they are able to catch the toe. When they go like this, they continue. And the shoulder is lifting up from the other side. So what will happen? The effect of the asana is lost. Instead of that, try to bring it to a position. Now beyond that, this shoulder is lifting, then stop there. So keep it here and look to the other side. I will show the other leg. So here it's going. Imagine the shoulder is lifting beyond this. So stop there. Beyond that, so when I stop there, the inner abductors will pull. When I do this, pull is lost. Because the shoulder has lifted up. So try to keep in a position. Beyond that, don't take it down. So when this shoulder starts lifting, stop this leg there. Supta Padam Krishna. If it goes full, well and fine, no problem. Then bringing back along with the leg with the knee straight. Exhale, hand down. Inhale, hands up. Exhale. Then, when doing so what I suggest is, in case you are not able to reach the chin on the knee, it's okay. Just maintain whatever possible. Gradually, the distance will reduce. There was a question regarding Akarna Dhanurasana. Should we hook our toe while other knee is near the air? Yes. So yeah, for example, if you are doing this, in case you are not able to hold the other leg, it's okay, you can catch the ankle. Try to catch the ankle of this leg. You can catch instead of the toe. If you're not able to keep your toe, then keep the hand on the ankle. That's fine. So you may not be able to catch the toe and take the leg. Once you feel it's very tough, you catch the other ankle. That also is fine. Any queries regarding any sitting asana or supine asana? Otherwise, I will go to I've got another 2 or 3 questions. That's all. Please explain how to do Matsyendrasana. I explained already. Somebody has asked. Already I explained how to do Matsyendrasana. Warm-ups we have to do daily at home. Whatever warm-up you are doing in the class in the first 10 minutes, remember the same sequence, practice the same warm-up. We are having 3 styles of warm-up. One is standing, one is sitting, one is lying down. There are 3 different styles. So any of that you can use as a warm-up practice. So don't practice anything without doing warm-up. See, I did the class now, right? What did I do first? I did warm-up only. Then I did Surya Namaskar. Then I did asana. Why? Because I know that is a sequence. Some other day, sir, can you show me Chakrasana? Do you think I will do Chakrasana immediately? I will not do. I am not ready, no. How will I do Chakrasana without doing loosening? Without doing Surya? I will never do. Not possible. I will tell, please come on Saturday, I will show you. That is the only way. Never show any asana to any person suddenly. You will get injury. Children especially, they get excited. No, yeah, I know Chakrasana, I will show. Today I will show Chakrasana. Suddenly they will do Chakrasana. Don't show things like that. You do some warm up or tell him, sir, I'm practicing evening. At that time, I'll show you like that. So do proper warm up, do proper Surya Namaskara, minimum 6 rounds, then do the asanas. Okay. Then any other queries regarding standing, sitting, lying down asanas? No query. There is one query regarding this one, Hamsasana, Mayurasana. She has asked regarding Hamsasana. So, and then is also query regarding this one. So before doing Hamsasana, I will do this one, Ekapada Rajakapotasana. Okay, I'll phrase that. I'll use this. So I'm in Samasthiti, cat pose. Automatically my breath changed. Now I'll show you one leg. So I'll take the right leg. Inhale, bend the right leg. I bent it now. I hope you can see me properly. Now while exhaling, don't sit like this. Some people are sitting like this. See, the heel is below the thigh. This is not Rajkapotasana. So bottom of this thigh and the calf muscle both should touch the floor without tilting. So I inhale. While exhaling, this calf will come out and try to sit like this. You saw. So I'm not tilting. I'm sitting straight and trying to touch the bottom of this thigh and this calf. Both are trying to touch the floor like this. You saw that? So I'm not, see, when I leave the hand, I'm able to sit like this. You don't do this. Okay, suddenly don't do the asanas. Okay. So one trick that you should do is remove the calf muscle. The calf muscle will come out. So like how when you do Padmasana, the calf muscle comes out, if you observe. So try to sit with the bottom of this thigh and the bottom of this side of this calf muscle. Both will touch the floor. The chest will bulge. Okay, see. Now, if you see the hip, if you see my hip is parallel to the front of the mat. The hip is not tilted. Now, if I do this, it's wrong. Now, if I do, how will I sit? No, not possible. So, I have to sit straight, keeping the chest forward, body straight. And then, then I can do it. Like that. So, try to keep the hip parallel to the front of the mat. And bottom of the thigh and the calf both will touch. Now there is one thing you can do here. If you get a pain on the knee or the back or anything, what you can do is keep a brick below here, below this thigh, below this gluteal muscle. Now you can see I got a good better balance now. Like this. You got this. I'll show you the side view now. So keep a brick here in between your hands. So keeping on this side. So Ekam, I'll show you the other this leg. Ekam, inhale, bring the leg in front of the brick. While exhaling, sit on the brick. It's a very important technique, very simple technique. When you do this, you will not get any difficulty on the pain or anything like that. Whereas at the same time, you will get the back arch also. It may not give the full effect of what you're doing in the previous position, but this will protect the knee and it will not put much difficulty on the knees. So keep a brick ready. So when you go back again, rearrange the brick to the other side. So when you bring the knee in front, keep the knee in front and sit on that brick. You got that? Now below this thigh, the brick is there. I hope you can see that. So now I can sit easily. Exhale. So this is one simple technique to improve that Rajakapotasana. So one mistake that you should not do is, don't keep your leg in front like this. Don't keep like this. Too much front. Then you will damage the knees. Keep it backward only. Okay, so don't make that mistake. So that was the query regarding Raja Kapotasana. Yeah, any other queries? Otherwise, Hamsasana, I will come to Hamsasana and Mayurasana. Now, in Hamsasana, Mayurasana, the location of the elbow is very important. So that's why I say first you have to come to cat position. Now, see, when I keep the crown down and insert the elbow, so the elbow goes below the navel. It's not on the upper abdomen. If I keep on the upper abdomen, then I will not be able to lift the leg side. It may be easy to lift the head, but the balance will not come. When you do Mayurasana, Hamsasana, equal weight has to fall front and back. Both the sides equal weight has to fall. So keep the elbow little low into the lower abdomen. Do a little like this. Exhale, leg back. So when I did that, I little rearranged the position of the hand. Then putting the weight on the back, lift. You saw that? The breathing is very tough here. So I don't do deep breathing when I do this asana. So location of the elbow. Try a little trial and error. Try keeping a little up, try keeping a little down, try keeping a little down. Because each person's symmetry is different. Your symmetry, my hand will be longer, your hand will be shorter. So try to find one position where you will be able to get, feeling, now I have a chance of lifting my chest up. So just try keeping in the right position. So if you get the right position, then the front will come up into Mayurasana. Inhale up. Now taking the weight to front, try to balance. So it's all just keep on trying to find the right place. Okay, I think Divya had that question. Somebody had asked that starting prayer, closing prayer, this one, recording, I'll send it to you. In the group, I'll send it. In Shirshasana, need suggestions to improve. Shirshasana is a game of it is not jumping the legs. Shirshasana is not jumping the legs. Some people are jumping the legs. That is for beginning purpose. Trying to take the weight upwards. So, what you have to do is bring the pelvis. The pelvis has to cross towards the head side. Now here, I lift. Now, don't try like this. Ding. No, don't do like this. Bring the pelvis forward. You don't keep the pelvis here and jump. Bring the leg forward and keep the pelvis above. Now when the pelvis comes, automatically the weight shifts. You saw that? How to do that? Bring the weight. See, I'm not here. I'm taking the weight forward. Closer and closer. Then slowly the leg will automatically lift. So that. Then without taking the hip backward, take the leg backward. So that.
I took the legs backward. I did not change the push the hip backward. Then there is nothing left. You just have to take the leg up. So I was here. Sorry, I was here. I took the weight. I have to play with the pelvis. The pelvis has to go forward. Then, keeping the stomach and the thigh together, take the leg up. If this much is done, you have learned Shirshasana. Then take your leg like this, towards the back, so that I don't lose the balance. Then just unfold in this. Okay. So as I said, try to bring the pelvis above the head. Bring your pelvis above the head. Then you will be able to do Shirshasana.
So, but when I do Shirshasana with wall support,
Yeah.
So how do I manage to get the balance of bringing the
Yeah. So what I'll show you. So keep the mat a little away. Now see, the wall is only for safety. Initially, because now you have already balanced reaching the wall. So now you have to come to the next level. Now think wall will come to your support only when you're falling. Imagine that. It will not.
While falling down, I fall so immediately.
No problem. So first you come like this. Now don't depend on the wall. You try to get folded like this, staying like that. You saw that? So you may fall. Then go to the wall. No problem. So try to get folded like balance. This one. So from here, anyway you're not. If you're falling, you can stand like this. No, because wall is there. So you don't be worried that there is nobody behind. Wall is there behind you. So come like this. Try to learn like this. Folded leg. Then slowly take it up. Whenever you fall, put your leg on the wall. Got it? So try to look at wall as a safety measure. Any other questions? We have another 10 minutes, I think.
So the last one is when we do Nada Anusanda, this one, that time, the Om, the first 3 rounds is slightly shorter when compared to the remaining 4 rounds.
Oh, is it?
For me, I experienced that I am not able to take it to that level of getting it as a continuous thing. It's a little shorter for me.
Okay. Is it that because the in-breath in between is not sufficient? I mean, between that, after 3 rounds, maybe because your inhalation in between those Om is not enough to get the proper breath. And that's maybe the reason why you're not able to keep the other 4 rounds as long as the first 3 rounds.
No, in my case, the first 3 rounds is short. The remaining 4 rounds is I am able to match your the recording. The first 3 rounds is pretty short for me. I'm not able to get that extent to what your recording is.
Okay. Achha, that may be, I think, because see, you just finished that, but before that you are doing pranayama, no? So there is no reason for any breathlessness. So generally, maybe because after 2-3 rounds, your lung, the function is better. You are able to do it better. Maybe that's the reason. But ideally, I think because if you are doing some asana just before that, then that may be the reason. If you are doing some like advanced asana, that comes even after pranayama only. So I don't think there is a reason for getting breathlessness in the first 3 rounds. Maybe that after 2-3 rounds, the function of the lungs is good, and then you are able to do the 4th, 5, 6. Otherwise, it should not happen like that.
Sir, when I fall,
Yes, Tanmay.
sir, when I fall, then I get hurt because I don't know how I fall.
Okay. Try to look at one point. No, when you're practicing, don't divert your mind, Tanmay. Okay. Don't divert the mind. If you divert the mind, then you will fall. Use all the fingers. So when you stand on one leg, no, try to do that. See, you are doing Vrikshasana. No? Go back and do Vrikshasana. Show me. Tanmay, go back and do Vrikshasana. Vrikshasana. You remember Vrikshasana? Take one leg up. Take one leg up. Keep it in the groin. Take the arms up. Inhale, take your arms up. Yeah. Now keep your head straight. Keep your elbow straight. Keep your elbow. What is the elbow? Where is your elbow? Straighten your hands. No, that is knee. Don't look down. See what happened now because you looked at your knee. Even if I look at the knee, I will fall. I have to look at one point. See, now your hands are not straight. Yeah. You're not looking at one point. These are the reasons. Why you're falling is because you're not looking at one point. So try to look at one point. Ekagra drishti you have to make. Okay, focus on all those things. Trying to keep your leg up into the groin. Looking at one point. Take your arms slowly and carefully. Not like this. These are all the things that you have to improve. Where is Tanmay gone? Huh? So try to take your hand slowly up. So when you take it up slowly and carefully, then your mind will become steady. See, I'm looking at one point, your arms are straight, and focusing on the thigh, and focusing on the breath, looking one point. All these things have to work together. Now see, I look there, I'm falling. And see, I'm looking different degree, I will fall now. It's common human tendency. Now if I look at you, I will fall. Yeah. So try to look one point, see, you're not focusing that mind, that's the problem. Okay, Tanmay, you have to look one point. Keep focus on the arm, leg, everything. Then you will improve. Very good, like that. It's okay, fall. Keep balancing again and again, and then you will learn. Any other questions?
You become after some asanas feel little breathless. Means your how to control it in the sense we can feel that we are not in coordination with your with your breathing. Mm-hmm. So with practice it will come.
It will come. See, it is conscious effort. Conscious effort is required. Now I'll give you an example. See, you know that one asana is there, Uttita Hasta Padangusthasana. So in that asana, I have to lift the leg, then inhale, take the leg in front, then exhale, try to bring the chin down. Like that. So this asana is there. I used to do this asana. I never thought I would be able to breathe with that proper rhythm. So for many years, I used to do this asana with less number of breaths. I mean, not long breathing. Then after some time, when I started focusing on good breaths, then I consciously started doing this in this asana. After 2-3 months, I found, this also I can do. The only difference that happened was I consciously tried to do it. So it will come when I try to do consciously. So I have to keep the mind that whatever comes, I will not compromise it. I showed you in that Baddha Konasana when I did that forward bending. So when I did that bending, I stop when the breath is over. I will not go further. Whatever comes, you tell me to bend, I will not bend. Now I will take a nice inhalation. Then I will bend. I will stop again because my exhale is over. Then I will take a full inhalation again. Fully. Now see, when I do that conscious full in breath, the lung will expand because what you're trying to do, you're trying to take a full and conscious inhalation. Exhalation is an after effect of inhalation. You cannot exhale unless you inhale properly, correct? Whatever is in the lungs only will go out. So inhale is more important. Whatever you take inside, that only will go out. So never compromise that in breath. Because
how to increase the capacity? That's what I feel. Sometimes I feel it's not expanding like that. Maybe it has to come by practice only. I feel, no?
I'll tell you the reason. A person, I've told in many class, I'm repeating the same thing. A person who does not practice asana, various asanas, he cannot do proper pranayama. Clear? A person who does not practice proper pranayama, he cannot do proper asana. It's like that. And a person who does not practice asana and pranayama means body control, mind control, breathing control. In what is he going to do control in meditation? Not possible. He cannot control his body. He cannot control his breath. He can control only his mind. Not possible. So a person who does not practice asana, why Ashtanga Yoga is mentioned like that? Yama niyama asana pranayama pratyahara dharana dhyana samadhi. He has written 8 limbs. No. First one is yama. In which discipline comes. So many things are coming. Cleanliness comes. All these things come. No discipline. Where yoga will come? One day yoga. After then 2 weeks no yoga. Then one day again yoga. So no discipline. So first yama niyama. Then asana pranayama. Then comes pratyahara, dhyarana, dhyana samadhi. So meditation or mind control directly not possible. No, controlling mind directly. In yoga principle, you have to control the mind using these asana and pranayama and the concentration technique. So that's what I'm telling. The person who is not able to breathe properly, he has to focus on asanas. If the chest is not opening up, where is the inhalation coming up? Chest is not open only. How can the person inhale? Back is like this. Where is inhalation? Inhalation aayega nahi. Because his back is not straight. That is why Hatha Yoga is written. First, you have to tame our own body. You have to straighten the back. You have to expand your lungs. You have to straighten. Back flexibility has to come. All these things have to come.
Then I'm not able to straighten my back. In Vajrasana, I'm able to straighten my back.
Similarly, unless you do proper breathing, your asana will also not improve. Okay? It will come with experience. It will come.
Okay, thanks.
We'll close the class, then
Yes.
we go to the practice session, 5:45 classes. So, inhale, take your arms up.
Bye, sir.
Say heart. Yeah. Any question, Anshuman?
Yes, sir. Bye.
Bye, okay. Close your eyes. Closing prayer. Inhale. Together. Swasti prajabhyaha paripalayanta न्यायेन मार्गेण महिं महिषः गोब्राह्मणेभ्यः शुभमस्तु नित्यं लोकाः समस्ता सुखिनो भवन्तु शांति शांति शांति. Gently bow down. Thank God. Come back. Thank you. Namaste. Bye bye. Thanks for joining the
Bye,
class.
sir. Namaste, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Bye, sir.
Bye.
Thank you, sir. Bye, sir.
I think 5:45 class.
No, sir. I'm having some work. Again, Monday is the last week.
Yeah. Monday, Monday morning, no, 6 o'clock.
Oh, evening class.
Evening, Wednesday and Saturday.
Okay. I want to timetable, sir, when are the classes and timings.
Yeah, I will send it to you. I think you are not checking WhatsApp.
There are too many. I'll go through it, sir, if you have sent it.
Okay, I have sent some. Bye bye.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Is the screen visible to all of you? Is the screen visible to all of you? Anybody can reply.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Visible, okay.
Yes, sir. Visible, sir.
Actually, the screen, your screen is on different direction. So I will not be facing the camera. I'll be looking at the screen. Okay. So don't think that I'm not looking at you. Inhale, take, so coming to standing position, all of you. Inhale, all of you standing position first. Keep your legs together, hands tight on the side of your body. Inhale, take both the arms over your head, join at the top. Exhale, bring to center of your heart. Close your eyes, inhale again. Together. Vande Gurunam Charanarvinde Sandarshita Swatma Sukhavabodhe Nisreyase Jangalikayamane Sansara Halahala Mohashantyaye Abahu Purushakaram Shankhachakrasidharinam Sahasrashirasam Shvetam Pranamami Patanjalim. Om